I wasn't the first one. This has a reputation for trying to get comedians to sell out of court and pay her. It's plants. Always. If it's violence at a comedy show, it is a plant. The ticket said comedy show, did not say serious show. I think they're plants.
I don't know why everybody keeps trying to make Tyler Perry out to be some black saint. The simple fact that he used and misused and abused the black community, especially the churches, and the only church he ever really gave big donations to was TD Cakes, another freak-off veteran who come to bless the baby oil.
These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. That's why, you know what the #1 job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is? What? Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job.
Eddie Griffin and Katt Williams are two big names in comedy that you just can't ignore. They're known for their quick wit and no-holds-barred honesty, and they've built their careers on more than just making people laugh. They expose uncomfortable realities. But being so outspoken hasn't always been easy for them, especially when they go up against the Hollywood elites. Griffin has pointed out how the media can be used to discredit those who speak out, while Williams has taken it a step further, claiming that certain gatekeepers in Hollywood expect compliance in some pretty shocking ways. Now, as these two fearless comedians team up to share even more, they've suggested that Tyler Perry might play a key role in this story.
Tyler Perry told his male actors they're not allowed to consort with me because I saw you at a Diddy party, Tyler, and you were having a glorious time.
Motherfuckers be gay in Hollywood, you never expected. They be having these big-ass mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited to be at the mansion party. You be looking in all the goddamn rooms, and you around and look in the wrong room and all of it get the wrong way.
To understand why Eddie Griffin and Katt Williams are speaking out, it's important to look at the challenges black comedians have faced in Hollywood. Shows like Martin, Malcolm and Eddie, and The Jamie Foxx Show weren't just sitcoms. They were cultural landmarks that brought black voices to mainstream audiences. These shows celebrated black humor, culture, and perspectives, all while breaking barriers in an industry that often sidelined diversity. For a while, networks like UPN became synonymous with black entertainment, giving platforms to talented actors and comedians who might not have found opportunities elsewhere. But there was always a catch. As soon as these shows gained popularity and profitability, many networks, including UPN, pivoted away from black-led programming. Instead, they shifted focus to more mainstream content, leaving many black creatives without a home. The change wasn't just about ratings, it was a reminder of how the industry often uses black talent for short-term gains without long-term commitment to diversity or representation.
You know, right, you see the money they'll put behind an unknown white talent just starting out, right? When we all came out, this goes from Martin's show to me and Malcolm's show to Jamie Foxx show, so on and so forth. They put us on these new networks. Remember they had UPN, I used to call it You Pick a Nigga, the You Pick a Nigga network. Every black show creates this network. Once this is built on our backs, they sell the fucker. Where's UPN at? Hey.
Eddie Griffin has been vocal about this systematic exploitation. He has highlighted how Hollywood uses black creators to tap into niche audiences, only to discard them when they're no longer deemed profitable. Griffin's own experiences with Malcolm and Eddie are a prime example. Despite the show's success, it never received the same promotional push or accolades as similar sitcoms led by white stars. Griffin has pointed out the double standards in Hollywood, calling it a machine that profits off black talent while controlling and marginalizing them behind the scenes. But what does Tyler Perry have to do with this? According to Eddie Griffin, Perry, who is often celebrated as a trailblazer for black creatives, has come under fire for his alleged role in pulling some of Hollywood's darker practices. Eddie's calling out Perry for being part of a system that messes with black talent. His big issue is with how Perry shows black masculinity, especially through the Mata character. Definitely, Madhu has made a lot of people laugh, but some folks think she just plays into negative stereotypes about black men, making them look either too soft or like clowns. Griffin and others feel like these portrayals do more damage than anything, keeping harmful ideas about black identity alive instead of pushing back against them. Then there's the issue of blackballing. Both Griffin and Williams have hinted that Tyler Perry holds influence in Hollywood's inner circles and has allegedly used that influence to stifle dissenting voices. For comedians like Griffin and Williams, this alleged blackballing feels like yet another tool of control.
And Tyler's a gangster too, because Tyler, I think, has done more. In our lifetime, man, in this generation, I don't think there's been anybody black that's been more successful than this dude in terms of ownership. Now, the queen was Oprah for a long time.
Right.
Oprah ain't no joke. But she teaches it to us. She done told me, Steve, gotta get ownership. That's Tyler's whole mantra, but I think what Tyler finna do of late gonna change the game. He finna go past everybody.
Tyler Perry's rise to power is often framed as a victory for black representation in Hollywood, but Griffin and Williams suggest it's more complicated than that. They argue that while Perry has opened doors for some people, he may have also played a role in closing them for others, especially people who disagree to follow Hollywood's expectations. While Eddie Griffin focuses on systemic exploitation, Katt Williams takes things further, pulling back the curtain on Hollywood's more insidious tactics. One of his most shocking revelations is about how audiences are manipulated during performances. According to Katt, Hollywood doesn't just influence what viewers see on screen, it controls the atmosphere in live shows. He claims that audience plants, individuals hired to react in specific ways, are often used to handle the crowd's response. These plants can laugh at jokes that aren't funny, clap at key moments, or even boo, depending on what industry wants to push about the performer.
His words.
For Katt Williams, it's not just about how people see comedians. He thinks there's some serious mind games happening on a bigger level. He has even dropped some wild claims about the government being involved in Hollywood. Katt believes that agencies like the CIA and FBI keep a close eye on comedians, especially people with big followings who can sway public opinion. Given that Katt's comedy often dives into controversial topics, he feels like this kind of surveillance isn't too crazy to believe. He sees comedy as more than just laughs. It's a place where ideas clash. When comedians push boundaries or challenge the status quo, they can end up on the wrong side.
Whether people understand it or realize it or not, I've said this before, we've all been inappropriately touched in Hollywood, period. That's what it is. We've all, at some point or another, been inappropriately touched in Hollywood, whether you realize it or not.
Kevin told you he brought it up, did you?
In the industry, they tried to make him wear a dress. Have you ever ran into that with scripts? And is that something that, you wouldn't do, for
definitely haven't ran into to put on the dress. You have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross. Protecting my brand is definitely a priority.
One of the most heated debates in this conversation is Hollywood's trend of putting black men in dresses for laughs. Both Eddie Griffin and Katt Williams have spoken out against this, calling it a deliberate attempt to reduce black masculinity. From Flip Wilson's Geraldine character in the 1970s to modern films like Big Mama's House and Tyler Perry's Medea franchise, this trope has stayed for decades. Katt Williams recently opened up about his views on a pretty important issue. He shared a story about how comedy legend Martin Lawrence asked him to be in Big Mama's House, but Katt turned it down. Even though it could have been a big break for him, he felt that wearing a dress wasn't just about the outfit. It represented something bigger. He didn't want to compromise who he is or play into stereotypes that put down black men. Eddie Griffin has also spoken out about this trend, pointing out that it's strange how many black male comedians get asked to wear dresses while their white counterparts don't. He thinks it's part of a bigger issue where the industry tries to control and undermine black men. Both Griffin and Williams believe comedy should lift people up, not tear them down. And they've turned down roles that don't align with their values. The impact of these portrayals is pretty significant. Some folks think characters like Medea or Big Mama are just harmless fun, but others argue they reinforce negative stereotypes, They feel these roles reduce black men to one-dimensional characters, making it tough for audiences to see them in more serious lights. When people talk about the power imbalance in Hollywood, a common question pops up. Why don't more legendary black stars team up? Just think about how amazing it would be if Eddie Murphy, Tyler Perry, Will Smith, and others joined forces for some groundbreaking projects. But the truth is, it's way more complicated than that. And it's not just about busy schedules. First off, the industry itself kind of pushes against these collaborations. Hollywood is all about competition, and the way things are set up often puts talents at odds with each other. This keeps any one group from getting too much power. So, even the most successful black entertainers end up working in their own little bubbles. Tyler Perry is all about family-friendly films, Eddie Murphy is known for his hilarious comedy, and Will Smith is the king of big-budget dramas and action flicks. They each have their own vibe, which makes it tough to find common ground for working together. Eddie Murphy has talked about the challenges that come with being in Hollywood. Even though he's one of the biggest comedians ever, he's still faced the biases and limitations that are all too common in the industry. He's hinted at how unfair things can be, especially when it comes to getting funding for projects led by black creators. Despite his success, he's run into obstacles that his white peers might not even think about. This kind of unfairness makes it hard for black creators to take risks and often leaves them trying to make it on their own instead of teaming up and sharing ideas. Plus, personal branding plays a big part in this too. Each of these stars has carved out their own unique identity, often aimed at different audiences. Tyler Perry's Medea movies might not vibe with Eddie Murphy's style, or Will Smith's action-packed storytelling. And while teaming up could really turn things around, the money people in the industry usually play it safe and stick to what they know works. So, at the end of the day, the lack of collaboration among these black icons isn't just about personal choices. It's a sign of the industry that makes it tough for them to come together, ensuring that individual success doesn't really lead to collective power.
Diddy's in trouble. Oh, nigga too. This nigga, if Diddy did it, he did it. Did he do it? Yeah, he did it. Did it. That nigga on his way to jail, Suge Knight, and they're waiting on him. You get tired of your silly dancing in your videos, all up on cell block, see dancing and shit. Come on over to death row, baby.
Hollywood's got its fair share of drama, and it's not just on screen. The social scene is a whole other can of worms, especially with those wild parties thrown by some of the big shots. These are more than just a chance to dress up and sip champagne. They've sparked a ton of rumors and raised eyebrows about what really goes down behind the scenes. Take Diddy's parties, for instance. They're known for being exclusive and over the top. But former bodyguard Gene Deal and actor Jamie Foxx have hinted that there's a lot more to the story. Gene has claimed that things at these parties aren't always as innocent as they look, suggesting they're more about power plays than just having a good time.
They came recently. This happened a long time ago, but they recently just made a statement that they found loads of cocaine. I wonder what they did with the, because they didn't turn it over to the police. They said they found loads of cocaine, razor blades. They said that the sheets were bloody, nasty. They found a whole lot of used condoms, and it was a Diddy party. They said it was disgusting the way that they left the place. So I know they got hit with another bill on top of that $25,000 and the different deposits they had to put down for cleanup and all this other stuff. It was crazy.
Katt Williams has been pretty outspoken about these parties too. He said that they often feel like initiation rituals for those in the Hollywood inner circle. According to him, attendees can find themselves in some pretty compromising situations, with everything being documented for leverage later on. For Williams, these parties are a symbol of Hollywood's dark side, a place where ethics take a back seat to manipulation. And it doesn't stop there. There are plenty of stories about exploitation that just add to the creepy vibe, showing an industry that's willing to throw its own under the bus to keep control.
These people...
It's not just about partying. It's about power and making sure everyone knows the score. All these allegations really put a dent in Hollywood's shiny image, making it tough to see it as just a creative hub. Instead, it starts to look like a place where chasing success comes with some serious hidden costs, and the glitz hides a much darker truth. For people like Eddie Griffin and Katt Williams, these parties are a perfect example of what's wrong with Hollywood. Eddie doesn't just stop at Hollywood, though. He sees the industry as part of a bigger problem. He often talks about issues like the illusion of freedom, the influence of money, and how powerful people shape public perception. He's been pretty vocal about how people get distracted by surface-level stories, which keeps them from digging into the real issues that affect their lives. Griffin believes Hollywood has a big hand in this. By controlling the things we see, the industry people encourage fans to think critically about what they watch, whether it's the glamorization of certain lifestyles or the reinforcement of stereotypes. According to him, the entertainment world often works alongside elites, making it very important for people to question the media they consume. But what's your take on this whole situation? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.